Welcome back. I want to share more of my conversation from this morning with President Donald Trump. Here's what he had to say about the Biden administration's electric vehicle scam. Listen to this.
Coming to Michigan tomorrow, as I talked about at the top of the segment here, you're leading in all 7 swing states. If the election were held today, it'd be a walkaway, whether it's a head-to-head fight with Joe Biden or 5 people in the race, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., makes no difference. You're winning in all 7 swing states. I don't believe Georgia or North Carolina should even be in that category. I believe the red states. But Michigan, critical. The EV mandates have become an absolute disaster for Michigan and Ohio and other states because nobody wants them. Fisker, you've probably seen this. Fisker is on the edge of bankruptcy. They dropped the price of their cars by $25,000 here over the weekend, desperately trying to survive. They're not going to. When you come to Michigan, you were here last fall and you said the EV will be the death of General Motors and Ford. What do you say to Michigan blue-collar workers, to middle-class families that say, look, the EV thing is failing. How do we get America back on track and build again?
So do you ever have things that are so stupid that you don't believe they really are real? There has to be some sinister plot or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, the people pouring into our country is one. Who would allow prisoners and people from mental institutions, terrorists, to just pour into our country? You would say that's so stupid it would never happen, but they let it happen. The EV, and I must say, there's nothing more important than what I just said. Millions of people are coming in, and they're world-class criminals. The jails are being emptied out, the mental institutions. There's nothing that's a bigger thing than that. But the EV is another one at a smaller level, because there's nothing that's so country-threatening as what they're doing to our country with all these criminals coming in. But at a smaller level, the EV is the same thing. I say, who would be so stupid to force people to buy cars that they don't want, that don't go far, that cost too much, and that are all going to be made in China? United Auto Workers is going to be, that man that made this deal with the United States to allow this to even be talked about is a criminal. He's going to destroy the United Auto Workers and all auto workers, whether they're United Auto Workers or whether they're auto workers. You're not going to have any cars made in this country, because with the EV mandate, they have all the materials. They have everything that's necessary for the batteries, everything else. We don't. They do. What we have is a thing called gasoline. We have more gasoline. We have more oil and gas than any other country. We have more under our beautiful land, and we don't use it. We're getting it now from Venezuela. Can you believe it? These things are not even possible to believe. Venezuela, by the way, their crime is down 67% because all of their gangs have been moved from Venezuela to the United States of America. The gangs, their prisons are being emptied out. And this is not only Venezuela. All over the world, prisons are being emptied out and they're being deposited into the United States. And also, mental institutions are being emptied out, and some of the most insane people in the world are being dropped into the United States of America. This country has never been in a position like that. Getting back to the electric car, they don't go far. They cost too much. And everybody should be able to buy one if they want one. But you have to get, if you want a regular, nice, beautiful, where you put gasoline in the tank and you can drive for hours and hours and hours and do what you want, which a lot of people want. 5% of the people have electric, 5%. And that's about what want it. It's probably, that's about probably
5%.
what want it.
Yeah.
You can't build the chargers. Do you know that to build the chargers necessary to do the electric cars would cost more money than the United States has? The United States would go bankrupt. It would cost $5 trillion to build the chargers. They talk about we're going to build chargers. And we don't have the electric capacity.
We don't.
And by the way, the electric capacity is made through petroleum products, okay?
Yeah.
The whole thing is so crazy. So they're trying to force people, and now what they're doing is spending massive subsidies so that people buy these cars. The United States is spending trillions of dollars so they buy these cars. And in the end result, the difference is minimal. Actually, some people say there is no difference. If you have the hybrids and the regular the regular, beautiful cars that you
Right.
hop into and you turn them on and you can drive forever. The difference environmentally is very little. In
If
fact,
any.
you could say that I've heard people say it's not even decipherable, the difference.
Yeah.
We're destroying our country for reasons that don't even exist. And the electric car will never work. It's never going to be. It's going to be fine. And I believe in everybody that wants an electric car should have one. But most people don't want it, and they won't because they have problems with them. They don't go far, and they don't work in cold. When I won the Iowa primary, it was 40 degrees below zero. You never saw so many electric cars on the road that were abandoned.
Yeah.
I mean, it was because they don't work in cold weather.
They do
this
not.
is just another one of the little minor problems.
Well, they're the
So
big
we're going to
topics.
end the EV mandate on day one.
Good.
We're going to bring jobs to Michigan like nobody's ever seen. We're going to bring the auto industry back to Michigan like I was starting to do. You didn't have all these plants being built in Mexico during my administration because I told them you're not going to sell cars into the United States if you build these plants.
Right.
It's incredible what they're doing, and they're destroying our country in so many different ways. But when you mention auto manufacturing, you're not going to have any auto jobs in this country. They're all going to be made in China and other countries.
Yeah. There are the big topics: the open border, the economy, including EVs and manufacturing jobs in Midwestern states like Michigan, Wisconsin, where you'll be tomorrow as well, Pennsylvania. So I greatly appreciate you taking the time. I know that you're busy, but these are the big topics. Green Bay tomorrow, Michigan as well. Thank you for being here today, Mr. President.
Well, thank you. And just to not end on such, because it's such like a depressing call. Everything we talk about now is depressing. We're going to turn it around. We're going to get it done. We're going to be a big car manufacturing country again. And we're going to just turn it around, and we have to deport. We're going to deport these criminals that are coming into our countries at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We're going to make America great again, in other words.
President Donald Trump, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.